Hey guys, welcome back to another Sorted George Garage with me, Julian. Just a real quick one for you. How to remove your harmonic balancer. Right, so first off, what you want to do is get yourself one of these sort of kits. You want that, okay, and with it you get this great big centre section, and you also get that which sits on the end, okay. Sometimes you get two of them. I've only got one. I got rid of the box and everything else. I just shoved everything in a bag. You get different size nuts and bolts, or rather bolts, and I'm using these ones which will fit on this little 273 Mopar to take that off. Right, let me get set up and I'll show you. Okay, so these are the 6 bolt holes where your bottom pulley gets bolted onto. Okay, now as you can see, I've already removed the bolt that goes into the crank that holds the harmonic balancer on. So this kit, I've only got the one piece, okay, that goes on like that. That goes into that centre hole. Now, for me, unfortunately, if I take that out, that is 99% the same as the hole. Excuse me if I can get that back out again. All right, that is 99% the same size as that hole there. So if I started to press against that to pull this off, this is then going to get pressed into the threads, so that's no good. I'm going to lose that forever and it's going to be a nightmare. So the other way to do it, okay, is remove the washer off of the crank bolt, okay, and then screw that in, because when that goes in, you're not going to have much room for this to come off, okay. So by removing the actual washer off of this bolt, let me do this up when I come back. You want this bolt as close in as possible, okay, because you need to get the bolts in to your harmonic balancer on your bracket puller. Right, so let me get set up with that and we'll come back. Right, so without using that bronze piece on the end of this, okay, this here, all right, is flat. All right, the end of that is flat. So that will sit flat nicely onto the end of the crank bolt. Okay, so now what I want to do is go every other bolt, okay, and we're going to put this on. So if I start off with that one in there, all right, let me put the other two in and I'll come back. There you go, just like so, and they've all got washers, and you can see where this will sit. I actually took this off the other day. My son and I were messing around and I showed him how to take this off. So as you can see, the mark there from this pulley, you know, this flat piece here on that, so it does actually work. So now what we do, okay, is we get these bolts screwed in 99.9% the same length, okay, because you don't want one to be longer than the other, because it will start pulling it out at an angle and then that will come off at an angle, and you don't want that. So you want these screwed in the same length, okay. So let me set that up and I'll come back. Right, so that's now set up, okay. What I've done is obviously like screwed that in up against the bolt, okay. You can see there that it is nice and level all the way round, okay, and the threads on those bolts, so I've got about 4 threads on each of them sticking out, okay. And if you look at the back of this plate, level with the back of the bolt, okay, so there you go, that's now ready to come out. Right, here we go, let's take them off. Right, you see the gap here, okay. As I start to do this up, all right, I've got to go clockwise obviously to do it up. You will see this gap get bigger as this gets pulled off, okay. So here we go. And you can also see it coming over the bolt. There you go. Now look at that gap. Lovely. That is superb. Now I can take that off. That's lovely. That's going to come out. Let me take that out. Job done. Banging much. Right, last but not least, take the bolt out and she will just come off. Lovely. There you go. Just like that. Actually, that was the second to last thing to do. The last thing you want to do is put the bolt back in the crank that way, then you know where it is and you ain't going to lose it. Simple. And that's it, guys. Jobbed, just like that. Nice and easy. These kits are not expensive. They're about $20–30, something like that. My one is a cheap one because I've only got the one bit that goes in the end of the crank. You can get kits that have got like 2 or 3, and obviously they fit bigger, fatter, whatever else. So that's why I had to sort of use the bolt to pull off the harmonic balancer. In the kit, you do tend to get different size threads. There's a coarse thread, there's a fine thread. Okay, you just need to make sure you have the correct thread for the bolt holes in the harmonic balancer where your pulley goes. Okay, otherwise, because a lot of these are like an aluminium or a soft metal and these are steel, well, that's going to win over that. That will strip that out, and then when you come to put everything back together, that's when you have problems. Pulleys go flying, etc. Ask me how I know. So yeah, it's just make sure that the bolts going into the harmonic balancer are the correct thread. That is vitally important. Guys, I hope this has been a help to you in some way. Please hit the like button, share it, hit the subscribe button as well if you wouldn't mind, because it will help this channel grow. Yeah, I will see you on the next one at Salt with George Garage. Banging.